Uh, heard anything else?
I haven't heard anything else just yet. I'm just waiting for someone to text me and let me know what's all going on.
I'm about to do do some, and recording and stuff. Do you mind talking with me?
Oh, no, I can't.
You can talk with me?
Yeah.
I mean, just tell me a little about the situation. I'm Larry Caldwell, Charlie Caldwell's brother. We've had some tragedy in the family. We had, someone was trying to make us believe that it was an accident. But we have reason to believe otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we were just trying to get to know some of the things that you may know about things that are leading up to or things that happen on that day in question.
Well, just the whole fact of it, Charlie trying to go get a hat, basically it made it not seem right. But then we found out that the hat was given to him by his fiance. So then that started to puzzle everybody with that one. So we think that Raquel was jealous of the fact that Charlie was getting remarried. And so she decided that she didn't want to have to go through another marriage, with him. And we think that she got upset and took his hat off and threw it. And she said she went in to try to grab it but couldn't. But then he goes to grab it and he just falls off. And then there was no waves, no currents happening where they were at. So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense with him just falling off and not coming back up. And then she ended up telling the story that he did come back up. And he was saying, please help me, please help me. And supposedly she does lifeguard stuff. So it's like, okay, well, you know what to do. And instead, she was like, I grabbed 3 life jackets or threw something in, for him. I mean, why didn't you jump in with a life jacket on just to go save him? So we don't really think that Charlie was just fell in. We think he got pushed in or something else happened to him. Especially with her nephew acting like it was no big deal that Charlie passed and saying, well, people die all the time, and saying it's better that I was here and not there, and just, it's insane. Knowing that the exact precise location where Charlie went out at, went overboard at, her nephew knew, and he also said he didn't even talk to Raquel. So it was just confusing how he knew that, and she didn't tell him that. And they lived together, and now she won't get out of the house that's in Florida that he has, and saying it's her house. I mean, all of it's messed up, and it just sucks for a lot of people. And the neighbors don't believe her story. No one does at all. Especially when it came down towards, Charlie. Everyone says that she's obsessed with him, and that she ruined his other relationship that he had. And so, pretty much, and the fact that his fiance had been messaging him and they had been talking the entire time while he was on, that, he would be there and that he was coming in. He called her at 5 and let her know that. And then all of a sudden, she kept messaging him and messaging him and messaging him, and leading to his fiance to believe that it wasn't him that went off the boat. Raquel had his phone, and she was reading everything that his fiance was sending to Charlie, and was on his Facebook at 4 in the morning, just reading everything. So I don't believe that it was an accident that happened. I think that Raquel did it. Pretty much. Yeah, Raquel's story changes up so much. She can't keep it consistent. I don't know Raquel, and with Charlie, I knew him through me and her started to get on it, to believe that, to go ahead and get things done for what the investigators down there couldn't do, and ended up finding out that Charlie was related to my aunt and my cousin. And so I was like, oh, speck. So I'm just here. I'm just a friend. That's it. That's helping. And to figure out what happened with Charlie, and figure out what people can do to help. There's just so much. I mean, a week prior to that, we had found out that Raquel had punched Charlie in the face and broke his glasses. So, I mean, she's apparently known for the little violence that she has, and like Charlie, I mean, what can you do if you get pushed off a boat, And I have not heard that. All I heard is that they were at the marina, and before about like 5 o'clock, before he had called Brandy and his fiance, and told her what was going on. They were at the marina, and they had just picked up ice and alcohol. So, I mean, I don't know about him cutting off on drinking, but I mean, it could have possibly happened because of the fact that, he had dinner that night with his fiance, So,
right.
I mean, possibly that could have happened, maybe. But I have not heard anything about the cutting down on the drinking. No one informed me on that one.
Everybody's saying other things, and I'm extremely concerned.
So am I. That's the whole reason it started, because I felt, because I was just there with my daughter, Charlie's 2nd to the 6th or something like that, and stayed at Charlie's house, and then I met Raquel like that. She knew that I went down there to Crestview, Florida with my daughter, and I told her what happened, and then I got that phone call about Charlie, and I was crying to her, and I said, this is not right, something's wrong. Listen to the family, like, even when I was down there. So that's why I sent it to them, but I told Taylor I did. I said, I sent it to Wilbert, and I said, I just want to let you know, I said, if you want them, I'll send them to you, but I just want to let you know I did that. She said, thank you. She's the one that told me when they found his body in the Gulf. She told me that 9-something that morning.
At 9-something that morning, I was on my way to Florida, and they called me and told me that she was threatening that when we come there to have us arrested because she feel like some, I don't know. Ashley was posting that she murdered her dad or something online or something. I'm not actually certain. So, I just asked her, well, did you? Because I'm on my way. I'm on my way now. And then they was like, hey, they're going to arrest you when you get there, cool down,
Why would they arrest you when you get there to your brother's house that she has nothing to do with?
I said the same thing. I mean, but I just, calmed down a little bit, and I don't know where it was coming from, but I know I was, I'm still distraught about it, and I just need to know, what's going on. I mean, because I got, it's like 4,000 people that's like asking me millions of questions, and eventually they're gonna all come together with me, and we coming to find out what's going on.
That was my main thing. That's why I said something's not right. I just know it. I feel it. All I know is from me talking to Raquel, I met her that one day because when Charlie got that condo for his training or whatever, because me and my daughter stayed at his house for the first couple of days, and then we went to he let us go to the condo before him, and that was on Saturday. And then he came there that Sunday, and we all went to Walmart. Then Raquel and Jack dude came that evening because I was cooking dinner, and he's like, well, Raquel and Jack, they're gonna wash clothes, because he had a washer and dryer in there. And I was like, okay, and I was scared. I was like, because I heard her on the phone with Charlie, because he put it on speakerphone in the car, and I was like, oh, Lord, when he got the phone, I was like, Charlie, she sounds scary. I was like, she's gonna be tripped out on me. He's like, but we're family. He's like, I was like, I know, but she sounds like she's mean. He's like, she's mean, but you'll be fine. She's okay. And so when she got there, she was kind of standoffish and looking like a straight bitch.
Right.
But I was cooking, and I made a plate for Charlie and my daughter and that Jack guy, and then I brought Raquel a plate. And she's like, no thanks, I'm good, blah, 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 whatever. So that whole night, then when Charlie went to bed early, she was still there, and then she starts talking to me and my daughter, and out of nowhere, she's like just changed to be like so loving and wanted to be friends, and it's like weird, I don't know, but I felt so weird the whole time. And the last time I saw Charlie was the next morning. I think it was that Monday morning. He was 7 a.m. He said, I'm going to my training class. If you're not here when I get back, just let me know y'all made it home safe. And, he called to make sure and everything. And he literally called me the day before. So Wednesday, he tried calling my phone. So I'm like, I don't know. I just don't trust Raquel. And then what Raquel told me, the first phone call, the next day, like that Friday, she was like crying, and she's like he tried to grab his hat and he fell into the water and didn't come back up. And I was like, what? No, that doesn't sound like Charlie. Like, where were y'all? This, that. And she was trying to tell me or whatever, but then she just starts talking about how she used to live in that house for the first year, and that Charlie kicked her out 4 times and threw all her clothes out. And then when she walked into his office, that all his papers were put up, and that's not like Charlie. And it just looks different. I said, well, whenever I was just there at his house, it was very organized in there and cleaned everywhere. She said, well, yeah, Charlie's very organized. I'm like, what the heck is this girl talking about? Because she's like going back and forth, like contradicting herself. And so I was just like, I'm playing nice to her so I can get information, because I'm like, I'm already ready, like, not to lose my mind on her, but I'm like, I gotta play nice, because then she'll tell me something. So I'm like, love you, this, that to her. Then I'm talking to everybody else on the phone, and then the next day I tried calling her, and I'm like, hey, I need you. I said, I've heard so many different stories. I need you to tell me exactly what happened. She's like, I'm sick of getting drilled by you, Taylor, Ashley. Y'all have to realize I need a break. She's like, y'all just need to let it go and move on right now. And I'm like, wait, what? I was like, how am I going to let it go and move on? What are you talking about? I was like, this is someone. And then she hands the phone off to someone else. And it's this guy named, I don't know who that is. He said he's known Charlie since he was like 11 years old. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know who you are. I ain't ever heard of you. So why are you on the phone? He's like, you just need to give Raquel some space right now. She's really stressed out, and she said she would call you tomorrow. I'm like, okay. And I don't know, I recorded that call, but then the next day, or that night, Raquel texted me. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'll promise I'm going to give you a call. Love you, whatever. I didn't respond because I'm like, Then the next day she texts me and says, how are you? I didn't respond. And then she calls me, and she's like, talking, just bull crapping the whole time on the phone. And then I'm like, Raquel, please let me know, because I've heard so many different stories. And I said, I'm not trying to say nothing. I said, but I need to know, because I just want to hear exactly what happened. Did Charlie come back up? Did he, what happened? So she starts off, and she says that they were on the boat. They came out of the no-wake zone, and his hat flew off. And she said she was trying to grab it from the side of the boat. And then Charlie turned the boat around, and he was able to grab it. And he got the hat and was like, yay, got it. And then a wave hit the boat, and it knocked him over into the water. and she said he popped back up, and then she like was trying to run to the front, grab life jackets to throw him. She said she threw him out there, but then she tells me as she's looking in his face that he looked at her, and she's like, it was like he was telling me, don't save me, think about my grandchild and your grandchildren and this and that, and saying that she didn't want it. Because I said, I would have jumped in. Are you kidding me? I would have jumped in, put the life jacket on, put the other one around him, just jump in. Like, that's what I told her. She's like, well, I was a lifeguard, so there's certain ways of handling this, and I had to. She's like, because if not, we would both been dead that day. And I was like, well, I said, I just don't understand. And then she says that when he looked at her like that, she threw the life jackets, and then as they were out there, he didn't reach it in time. He couldn't grab it. So then he went under, and that was the last time she saw him. So from her first story to the second one, it completely changed to where he first fell in, didn't come back up. Now the second time he did come back up, looked at her. I'm like, how long can he look at you for you to not, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I even asked I talked to the detective today. I asked him, did she work at the marina? He said, yes, she did work at the marina. And I mean, if you're working at the marina, don't they kind of obligate you to, if you see somebody in the water, to kind of rescue them in a manner, not throwing stuff at them, not throwing the life jacket out there? I mean, wouldn't they be more a marina worker? Wouldn't he or she be more obligated to assisting someone if they fall in? Do you think that?
Well, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, well, then put the life jacket on yourself. Then you jump in and you put the life jacket around him. If they're right, if you're right there, and especially if you work on the marina, why don't you have a life jacket on?
Yeah, you should. That should be one. That should have been one of the most safety of the safetiest. But
like I said, I've talked to her and Brandy. I've talked to everyone, and I'm just like, something's wrong. I said, I know Charlie. I feel it in my soul. I know something's wrong, and so she's been doing like her digging, and she just she just dig and dig and dig, and I understand that. I'm like, thank God Shelby did that, because I mean, I have to work and go do all this stuff, but Charlie's been on my mind. Like, I missed 2 days of work because I couldn't stop crying, and I'm like, this is tripping me out, but I know something is not right. That's what I told the detective today on the phone this morning. I said, look, you let her drive away with the city marshal official vehicle. You let her take the cell phone that's his. I said, did you check the backpack? Because Charlie keeps his wallet, keys, and his gun in his little backpack that he brings. And I said, his phone is always sitting right there where he drives the boat. I said, so did y'all check any of that? Because y'all took the boat. But I obviously know, because she took the backpack, because it has his wallet, keys. I mean, where's his gun?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we're dealing with that, whatever, with the vehicle. And so obviously he's not a detective. He works for the Wildlife and Fishery. He's a lieutenant for that.
He told me that.
Because I'm like, okay, obviously this dude is not a detective, because we're doing all the detective work. Like, all the easiest things what you would first do. But I guess they're so used to people falling in the water and having incidents that they're not thinking, oh, maybe it could possibly be a murder. But I'm like, this is a city marshal, first of all. It's been all over the news prior to y'all. I just don't get it. I don't think something's right. And that's what I told him. And he's like, well, we're investigating everything. And I said, okay, well, somebody else was
Raquel.
that Jack guy.
I talked to Raquel that Friday. She said they hadn't found the body yet. He fell over, the wave hit the boat, and the wave kept taking him back further and further. And then I talked to the detective today. The detective's like, oh, the water wasn't nothing like that. But he said,
I know.
He said, when you stop the boat bring about a wave. I said, but she said she went back there to try to retrieve the hat first. And then he said, oh, hold on, let me get it. And he went back there and tried to retrieve it. And then I said, you mean to tell me then the wave gonna come and just knock him over?
Exactly. And then I looked at the wind speed, and I looked up exactly where they were at. Like me and Shelby, the first thing I said was, because she works at that marina, because of what she said on the phone call was, we didn't go to Crab Island, we didn't go over here.
They was at Crab Island.
That's exactly where it happened.
Yeah.
And I think that they dumped his body right there, and then she drove over to the other side, because if that was where, she actually said where it really happened, then they would have known to look in that area. But no, she took them to a different area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like,
That's obstruction and everything.
Oh, and then on the phone call too that I recorded her on, she says, we were not near the marina that I work at. Like I didn't even ask her that. She just specifically said that. I'm like, okay. Like, yeah. I'm like, this just doesn't add up to me. It's like, I don't get it. So, it's crazy, but I think everything will come out. And if not, then, yeah, I'll text her and tell her, because she's already had the KTAL news people call her and ask her. Because I talked to, like I said, the ADA, and he said that if the investigation says she's not guilty, and we all still think that she's still guilty, that he said he'll get a press conference going so that she can speak at Brandy on there and say, she's the motive. That's what it is, because they were supposed to meet that day, and they were texting and calling all day. So.
Yeah, ask her to give me a call if she will. That'd be awesome, because, like I said, we are extremely distraught, and I mean, like I said, he has more friends, but we all are family. I am his brother. I'm the baby boy. I'm Larry.
Yeah.
And it's Larry, Gary, and Junior. Mama's still here, but Mama is still here, and Mama is extremely distraught.
Yeah, I've been every day. I just keep crying about it, but
my dad was on his way down there with her Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was telling them. I got videos and pictures of Charlie when we were just there, and but I'll text Brandy and tell her, either if I ask her if I can give out her number or ask her to call you, and I'll let you know about that. And anything else I hear, is this your number?
This is my number.
I will let you know, and I'll send you some good videos of Charlie and pictures we were just there.
Sounds good. Sounds great. I hadn't saw him. I didn't get a chance to see him. I called him about 2 weeks or so ago, and he told me he was, enjoying himself like a big dog. Say, man, you and dang dog need to consider coming on down here.
Yep.
I told him, man, I got to finish up a few things first, but I got you. And I knew that Raquel too. I knew that damn Raquel. I didn't know she was like. I didn't know none of this. What you're saying now, because like I said, I hadn't seen them since the pandemic.
Yeah.
But he know me. We always kicked it. I don't know. You might have.
Yeah.
Everybody know Blige though. That's me. I'm Blige.
He probably talked about you, because I hung out with Charlie all the time. Like literally, we talked weekly. If not every other day, we talked weekly.
I'm the one that he always say, Blige, you need to stop all that, because you hood this shit.
Yeah, because he's told me about all kind of different scenarios and his kids, and then everything. So right now I can't think of names. I
understand. But if you saw me, I guarantee you would probably be frightened, because a lot of people say, man, you look just like your brother.
No, you know who sounds like him is Charlie the third. I swear, he called me the other day, and I was like, oh my God, don't stop talking to me.
That's just a king-like trait. When you're a king.
Yeah, I looked at my phone. I had an unchecked voicemail from Charlie. He's like, hey, got your missed call, baby. Give me a call back. We're just out here on the water. We doing this, and just out here, having fun. And then,
yeah,
that's so Charlie. But on it, talking to everybody, I'm like, it's not going to happen. Charlie, it's not going to go down that way. And it's not. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry, but
I understand. Believe me, I understand.
All those stories. We stayed up to 3 a.m. that second night I was there. Me, him, and my daughter, we stayed up all night talking about everything, and talking about that girl that lives in his townhouse right now.
Yeah.
He was asking me, he's like, what do I do? This and that.
What girl lives in his townhouse?
you know, all that surgery. I came in there
Raquel?
to make Charlie's soup.
Raquel live in his townhouse now?
No, it's I think her name's. They've been staying there. I met because that was who Charlie was engaged to. This was like, I don't know, months and months ago. And
I think I did meet her. I think I met her once. He brought her by here. I think I did meet her.
I don't know. I don't even see how that's Charlie's type, but she was there, and she was, because I came there and brought him soup, and she showed up. She's like, Charlie, you should have let me know. But I was like, I'm just bringing him soup because he said he was hungry, and I told him, don't be walking around everywhere since you just, you know, got your Achilles tendon freaking split. So, but I met all of them, and I was, like I said, I talk to Charlie daily. So.
All right. Well, I tell you, it's awesome to finally get a chance to meet some of Charlie's outside family.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm with the Solitude.
Y'all live in Shreveport?
Yes, we do.
All right, yeah, I was about to say I can come meet y'all. I can leave up here and come meet y'all. And I can show you those recordings if you want.
Well, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I need those recordings. We need to, get those recordings. But I was at, I'm at someone else's place right now. I think my sister got them though, baby Charlie.
Yeah, well, I sent, I think pretty much all of them to, and so I think she sent them to her. I don't know. I kind of got on her butt. I'm like, hey girl, you better. It's me on the dang recording, girl. You can't be sending this to everybody. I'm gonna get me for something.
They ain't gonna get you. They ain't gonna get you for nothing. You good?
No, I know. I was like, oh, I want to see everybody to see the inconsistency. That's why I told the detective, I'm like, look, I'm not some person calling about a story. I'm the person calling you because I literally talked to her. It's not a story. It's what she's saying. I mean, it probably is a story, but it's what she's saying to me. So it's a lot different than hearsay.
Yeah.
So, well, y'all just let me know.